Welcome to WHITEBOARD Project Management. In this episode, we will talk about conflicts that occurs during your project execution. How to deal with those conflicts. Stay connected, grab your cup of coffee, prepare your white sheets, and let's hit the whiteboard to start the session. Now the project manager is in contact with so many stakeholders. The project manager will be in contact with the client, with suppliers, with other team members, and there could be some conflict occurred in some cases. How to deal with it? First thing, for the conflict, you need to define the conflict. The project manager for a contracting company, he is in contact with the client, and now he is also in contact with the team member of his company, and he is in contact with supplier. And there, in any of these communication links, there could be some conflict occur here or here or here. Levels of conflicts are important. In some projects, project manager needs to evaluate the conflicts on priority on each communication link. So once he make the communication links, he will make the conflict level of priority and the risk of this conflict. Because once he is defining the conflict, it needs to take the action required. The action required once the client and the contractor. Considering this link. Now if the conflict occurred, maybe you need to avoid this conflict. Or maybe you need to accommodate this conflict. Or you need to accept the conflict, and maybe you need to moderate this conflict. What this means, moderate this conflict means, okay, I am in conflict now with the client, but we come to an agreement and we will say, okay, you do something, I will do something, and together we will end up with our agreement. That means 50-50. The conflict could occur when there is something written in the contract, and you as project manager as a contractor, you are telling the client, this is not in my scope. Now the client tells you, this is not correct. I have with you an APC project and you are responsible for a turnkey project. And you are telling, no, in the contract article number 123, there is a sentence saying that you have to give me some information. Based on that, I can give you the result. But you didn't give me this information, so I am now in delay and I need the change request to be approved. Here the client will start negotiating with you, and you could reach to increasing the conflict, which is very risky because this will end up with closing the communication levels, and the trust which is built between the client and the contractor will be destroyed. This is the last thing what you need, because this will catastrophically end the project. And you and your client and everyone works here have the same target, is to finish the project in scope, in time, in the quality, and in cost. So you need to check with the client what are the possibilities. You could accept it, and you take the 100%. Or you could accommodate it with the client. You could have like 20%, 80%, or 90%, 10%. And you could avoid this as well, to take everything on the client, and you have agreed what the client needs. So this matrix of conflict management, you need to start at the beginning of the project. When you are doing your project management plan, once you do the project management plan, you are doing the communication management. Part of the communication management, you are checking the communication links, and then you prioritize your conflicts which could occur. Then once this list of conflicts that could occur, you have it prioritized, then you can add to this conflict the risk of this conflict. The risk of this conflict, it's a simple table where you will do it at the beginning, and you will tell like this communication link A, conflict description. Then once you describe this conflict, like priority level and effects. The effects or risks. So simply prioritize your level of conflicts, and once the conflict occurs on this specified link, you go to this link A. What are the conflicts which are defined, which are the risks, and you prioritize those risks or these conflicts, and the actions need to be taken towards those to avoid the conflict with the client. Same links could occur with your team member or with your suppliers. This is the levels which are very high, or project manager versus client is high. Then you have project manager versus suppliers, also because they are external parties, and project manager versus team member, which are lower. So this is like high, this is moderate, and this is low. Okay, simply those are the links and this conflict levels, because the team members are always in the same company with you, and you always could reach to an agreement. With your suppliers, you could reach also to an agreement, but there is a risk that the supplier will end up with not fulfilling their requirements, or they have another communication link with the client to send it back to you from the other side, other communication link. This is also some tricky things which are used in some project, but it's not ethically agreed in the project management. Simply, this is the conflict management, and there are so many other items related to conflict management. In the next episodes, we will go and describe details and some practical examples of conflict management. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.